Well, switching to cricket now on the Sports Max Zone. The West Indies will start their ICC Women's 50-over World Cup campaign later on Thursday when they play host New Zealand at the Bay Oval in Tauranga. The regional women lost both of their warm-up matches to Australia and India. Windies captain Stephanie Taylor says there is work for the team to do.
We had our meeting, and we said that to be competitive, we have to be scoring over 200 runs. And in the two games that we played, we didn't do so. So that's something that we've had a look at. And moving forward, that's something that we need to work at.
Meanwhile, New Zealand skipper Sophie Devine says the Kiwis are ready for action.
Oh, look, we're genuinely excited. I think this tournament has been a long time coming, and there's absolutely going to be nerves, there's going to be pressure, there's going to be expectation. It would be silly to think that those things won't be there, especially being a home World Cup, being the host country, that there is, expectation there. But again, we've spoken at length as a group that we can only control what we can control, and that is out on that cricket field. So we're embracing all the small, wee different things, but there's a lot of familiarity, obviously, coming back here to Bay Oval. We've played a lot of cricket here, we've done a lot of training camps here, so it's nice to come back to familiar surroundings. But at the end of the day, we just need to focus on what we can control, and again, it's another game of cricket, so we just need to make sure that we're tuned into that.
Well, just a reminder, viewers, this is the Windies Women's squad. Stephanie Taylor at the helm. She's our captain. Anisa Mohammed sits in as the vice-captain. Aaliyah Allen, Shemaine Campbell, Shamila Connell, Deandra Dottin, Affie Fletcher, Cherry-Ann Fraser, Chanel Henry, Kaisea Knight, Hayley Matthews, Shadeen Nation, Karishma Ramharak, Shakira Salmon, and Rashada Williams. Well, George, there has been much concern about the batting lineup, and we just heard from Stephanie Taylor speaking about the only way that we can be competitive is if we score, I think she said, over 200 runs. What's your take on the situation at hand?
I think we're going to struggle in this first game. I would have preferred the simpler start to the tournament. The fact is that the West Indies, in my view, are better than a batch of women's teams. That batch, head of that batch is Pakistan. So Pakistan and the rest in that group, West Indies, better than those confidently. 20-20 cricket, 50-over cricket. Then there's a batch of teams that the Windies are not better than, that are better than the West Indies, including New Zealand. So here's the thing, and I'm coming to the batting question specifically. For the Windies to... If the Windies play to their strengths and New Zealand play to their strengths, New Zealand wins. Yeah,
and the thing is, based on research, they've met each other 19 times in this format. New Zealand have won 11 times, so that speaks for itself.
So if New Zealand cannot be at their best and beat the West Indies must be at their best to beat New Zealand. So the margin for progression and for ambition is slim. That said, when you look at the squad, and if I may get the squad again, Mr. Producer, I'd be grateful. You look at the squad and you see match winners in the squad. You see women who can turn a game. The captain needs no introduction. Anissa needs no introduction. Deandra needs no introduction. Hayley Matthews has it in her. And then I think the key is not, well, the key will have to be those names I just called. But it will need some of the younger players to have a breakout period, a breakout tournament for the West Indies, in the way that Taylor came and announced herself, and then Dottin announced herself, and then Matthews came in a blaze of glory and announced herself. Someone or the other, a couple of these players will have to have that same breakout impact. The question is, can Ms. Ramharak do it? Can she rise a level and prove that, all right, I'm going to give a performance over the course of this tournament to make me a fixture in this team. I'm going to put in a performance over the course of the tournament that will make me undroppable, even if I have a bad run of form, because I have chips in the bucket, I have form to live off. That is the most important question for the West Indies. The batting confidence is fragile, Mariah, And against this New Zealand team to start with, I'm not confident that we're going to get the runs to be competitive, and that's partly my take.
Yeah, and you know, when I think about, and it's one thing to draw on what has happened in the past, but we have to remember that we're living in the present. Stephanie Taylor, just to draw on her stats, George, she has been brilliant against New Zealand. She's known to make a century against them. You know, she has the most amount of runs versus them. She was really good with the ball as well against New Zealand. So that's something that, you know, can boost our confidence. But is it, because this is always my worry, on the day when it matters the most, can the players step up? Because also a cause of concern, Deandra Dottin in the warm-up. She was so good before when they were playing, and then in the warm-up, not firing. Now, I'm not going to judge her on that, and I'm hoping that, you know, she comes to the party at the World Cup. But, you know, just the inconsistency and the fact that you're not really sure if all of them are going to show up, it is worrying.
Well, let me tell you, I know Taylor is fit. I know Dottin is fit. I know Hayley Matthews fit. With those fit players, Mariah, won't be disgraced. I'm confident of things.
But then my question, because
Yes.
I keep writing questions that I have, can they maintain this fitness for the next 7 games?
The point of saying they're fit is that they're going to win games for us. But it can't be them alone.
No.
It has to,
It's
as I
a
said, you need 2 or 3 other solid performers. You know, a 40 here, a 2 wickets for not many runs there. That kind of contribution you need game in, game out to help the situation. But the Windies in this opening game are overmatched, I think.
Yeah, definitely going in as the underdogs. Well, we're looking forward to see how tonight goes. We'll talk about it on the show tomorrow. Good luck, ladies. We go to break.